Uh, wait, where's my mic? Guys, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but oh, there it is. I was like, I couldn't find my mic for a second. Like, I started recording and I'm like, wait, what happened to my mic? It was hidden behind a piece of something. So, all right. So, NVTS. People want me to talk about this one. NVTS. Let's go over a lot. Let's go over a lot. There's a lot to talk about on this one. So, let's go. Let's go over the technicals first because that's faster. So if you guys have been, if you're in the Discord, you already know. You're learning. You know how to play the game. So where do we buy? Right, we buy at the purple line. The next best level after the purple line. And let's check. Let me see. I don't know why this is why is this so big? Someone's gonna make a joke. Why is this so big? Haha. Okay, I get it. But let me just check right here. So the 100, is that gonna be the big level? Well, that would be no. That's not it. I'm checking right now to make sure. Okay, so that's the 50. The 100 would be down there as well. So it might be the 100. Okay, so it looks like the 100 Emma might be the best. It likes to bounce off of it here and find support, right? So the purple line is at $7. The blue line here is at 850-ish. So 834 to 850. But if we ignore these, let's just ignore these and we focus solely on where buyers love the stock. Buyers love it right here at around 9. So 8.90 to $9. And the reason we know that is because this is where we had to break out to go to 17. Like we needed to get above this to make that move to $17. So that's where we wait. We need to wait and see if buyers show up at low 9s. Okay? So this is not a buy yet. This is why I tell people be careful. Don't just buy and assume it's going to, go up. Wait to see where buyers love it. There's going to be a certain point where buyers love the stock so much that they cannot help but to buy. And so many people love it at that price that it just, then it bounces, right? Like you can see here, buyers love it at $6, right? And it always bounced to $9 for a nice 50%. It came back to like 550 to 6, and then it bounced to 17, right? So does that make sense? That's a big level down here. But this is a big level because we had to get up and over that level to make that high to 17 plus. So those are your big levels right now. It's going to be low 9s, and then from there, if it doesn't hold, 550 to 6. And at that point, probably the purple line is going to be more of an indicator because the purple line is around 7. So funny enough. So just on the technicals, wait, not a buy yet. I had a guy in my Discord. He joined the Discord recently. He's a complete beginner. He bought like up here on this candle, the worst candle too. He bought like at the top here, and he didn't know it was a top at the time. But I told him, I'm like, hey, this could be the top. Like we don't know where the top's gonna be. You're just chasing. Do you have strategy? And he's like, no, I don't have strategy. I'm just buying because it looks like a good, looks like it's gonna go. And I'm like, oh God. And then he's like, yeah, I'm a beginner, just started. And I started watching you, and I like how you're just straightforward and to the point. And that's why he joined the Discord, and now he's very grateful. Obviously, he's very grateful because it's like, oh my God, if I had not taken that loss. Because I told him, I'm like, you need to have a strategy. Like, okay, you bought in, but where are you going to take the loss? Because you don't want to hold the bag all the way down. That's the biggest mistake you can make. So he took a 4% loss. And then, but that's better than, he'd be down 40%. Like, think about that for a second. Think about that. Imagine yourself as a beginner. You're just jumping into the markets, and the first thing you buy is NVTS at the top, and you're down. What, within 2 weeks you're down, or 3 weeks you're down. Is it 2 weeks? Let me see how long. Within 2 weeks you're down 40%. Like think about that. So he saved himself actually by joining the Discord, patreon.com/shadesandtrace. If you want to join the Discord, he saved himself a lot of money. But he only knows that because of hindsight. Obviously, in the moment, he was telling me, like, I don't know if I want to take the loss shades because, it might go up to 20. It might go to 25, 30. But I'm like, bro, you might have bought the top two. You don't know. That's why you got to have strategy. So Please don't buy here. It is not a buy. I'm telling you right now. You don't have to listen to me. You can just think I'm some crazy guy, but it's not a buy just yet. Let it come. Give it one more day. Let's see if it finds buyers here. So that's it on the technicals. I think. Let me check the weekly and just make sure. Yeah. Even on the weekly, on the weekly it looks horrible. This was a clear top, and yeah. So yeah, on the weekly, monthly. Yeah, so it looks exactly like we would expect. Let it come down. Let it come down. So let's go over to the earnings. But yeah, just join the Discord, guys. I think too many people don't realize like how big of a deal it is to join my Discord because you get a lot of, you'll get it straight. You know, I'm gonna shoot it straight at you. You know, like I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me check the press releases because I do need to see. I didn't to see. I mean, we are in the Discord. We're just always talking. We're always talking. We're playing chess too, because a lot of people like to play chess. It seems. No problem at your service. At your service. Oops. No, at your service. Like I'm not gonna be one of those Discord members that just goes, "Oh yeah, good luck." Like that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you as much as possible because I know how to play the game. I've been where you are. I've been through that. I've bought tops on stocks and made those mistakes. That's how I know. Unfortunately, you have to make those mistakes to learn, right? You got to make mistakes to learn, to grow, and get better. And if I can help you avoid all those mistakes that I made when I first got started, you're going to be better off in the markets. So let's see, NVTS here. Let's see what happened. What happened? Because we do have to look at the due diligence. The press releases and just see why this is dropping because I never checked. I usually just trade off the technicals, but I do need to make sure that this didn't report something horrible because it's dropping pretty hard. It's not finding buyers. NVTS, Trading View, financials. Let's look at the financials as well just to see what's going on with this one. At least year over year and quarter to quarter. Okay. In partnership might change the case for investing in NVTS. Let's see what happened. Reported third quarter 2025 results. A net loss of 20 million. NVIDIA's recognition by NVIDIA as a power semiconductor partner for next generation 800V DC AI factory architectures. You need to believe in the company's ability to transition from weaker consumer sales towards powering higher growth sectors like AI. Okay. See, okay, whatever. Let me see. They still have that partnership with NVIDIA, right? Like that hasn't changed, right? Because I think this might be kind of like BBAI. For those of you who watch my BBAI videos, I think it might be like BBAI in the sense that it's going to drop on earnings, but every time it does drop on earnings, it's nothing more than a dip buying opportunity. If you watch my other videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. So it's going to be a dip buying opportunity. That's what I'm thinking. Because if it still has that partnership, I'm going to check right now. I almost typed in BBAI, NVTS stock. Does it still have that partnership with NVIDIA? Because if it does, then there's nothing to be concerned about. But I need to check. Yes, they still have the partnership. The collaboration announced on May 21st, 2025. Yeah, so there's nothing. Okay, yeah, there's nothing to be concerned about. Okay, I think it's just dropping because everything else dropped. Number one, number two, you know how people are. They have short-term memory. Number three, we had a big run here, so of course it's also like you got too much pressure to the downside, and that makes sense with everything combined. You have earnings on top of also the selling pressure from the markets as a whole because everything was coming down together, and on top of just there's just a lot, right? So let it come down and find buyers. I don't see anything here that indicates that we should be concerned here. I just don't. I'm looking and I don't see anything. You know how people are. They have short-term memory, which means that if the stock, if enough people believe, oh no, this is something's wrong with this, I'm selling. well, you're going to get these drops. This is why you don't buy tops and chase, because you never know. It's always better to buy the bottom or close to it or at key levels, wherever that may be. Let's see. Let's look at the statements here. I'm going to pull it off to the right because I have multiple screens. Let me just move this here. All right, so let's look what happened. So they reported 10 million. Oh, what the hell? I could see why it dropped. It's having a horrible year. You can see here, the revenues have been dropping. Look at this. Quarter 1, 2024 compared to quarter 1, 2025, there was a 39% drop in revenues. And remember, guys, what did I tell you? Remember, and I always say this, what matters in the stock market with regards to revenues, right? What matters? What matters is that the revenues are going up. The bottom line, that's what matters to investors, right? Is the company. If you start a business and you keep getting you keep making more and more revenue every year, that means that you're getting more demand for your product slash service. That's the only way possible for you to, keep making more money, unless you like raise the prices. But even if you raise the prices, the fact that people are still buying, clearly you have something that's worth, your service slash product is worth the money. So it doesn't matter. As long as there's demand for your product slash service, you'll keep getting these increasing revenues. But you can see clearly that's not happening here. In fact, it's the opposite. Their revenues are dropping. So I would be very cautious. That's all. I have to give caution here because of that. But yeah, they're on they're on their way to having their worst year possible. So that's what it's looking. Again, it's all about that bottom line. Now, if you believe in the longer term, aspect of this, then sure, yes, there's absolutely opportunity as we move forward here. But other than that, just be careful where you buy. Wait for it to find buyers somewhere at these key levels. And I'll let you know. If you're in the Discord, you're going to get the alert because I am watching this for a buy opportunity. But I think it's one of those stocks where you really have to be careful in terms of, like, you don't want to be buying tops and holding a bag. So yeah, I'm very good with the timing. So you guys will get the alert in the Discord. That's it. That's all I got to say. I give you my opinions. I don't see anything to be concerned about. It's just you got to give this company time to pivot more than anything. And it's not going to pivot in one day, right? If you run a business and you go from pizzeria to taqueria, like, you're not going to immediately be able to, make that pivot, because you need to get a whole bunch of different equipment, right? You have to spend money. You got to set everything up, maybe some things need to get broken down and taken apart, and then new things get replaced. You need to buy the equipment. You need to hire people to, do the taqueria, right? Like, it's not, I'm just using that as an example. Like it's just not, I think too many people expect a company to immediately start making like big revenues just because they announce that they're going to pivot into something. It's going to take time, whether it's Mara stock, whether it's APLD, whether it's all these other companies that are getting into the AI infrastructure game. It takes time to build out a business. So if you really believe in this long term, go for it and buy. But again, I'm going to be a little more cautious because I do like to see growing revenues. BBAI does not have growing revenues either, but I do trade it because because it always pumps, right? NVTS, if you look at it just on the charts and ignore the bottom line, ignore the revenues, recently it just loves to have these 50% pumps. So if this goes back inside this range, that's what I would look for. Just take advantage of the pumps, but that's about it. So long term, though, I mean, let me ask you this: do you really want to be holding this long term? I mean, sure, if you want, but it's been around since 2021, and it's not going up. It's just sideways, right? It's been trading sideways here. So someone holding long term since 2021, have they made money? No, they're actually holding a bag, and they're still in the red. So look at this. This is not a good long term investment so far. But if your bet that is that in the next 5 years this is going to be worth so much more and it's going to start trending to the upside, cool. Then please, by all means, invest. But not for me. I cannot give it the green light, right? Look at NVIDIA. What does NVIDIA keep doing? These past 5 years, what has it done? It just keeps going up, and a lot. And you would have actually made way more. Because if you bought in 2021 at the top, you would be up almost 600% if you just bought and held. Whereas NVTS, you would be down. I think. Let me check. You would. I don't know how much you'd be down. You can check. Yeah, you let's say you bought the top of 2021 on NVTS, right? Let's say you bought the top, and you right now you'd be down like 43%. So probably more than that because I'm not measuring it exactly, but you get the point, right? So in terms of an investment, you would have been better off buying Nvidia. Like you would have been better off buying the company that it's, not the company that Nvidia is collaborating with, but Nvidia itself. That's what's funny. So long-term investment cannot give it the stamp of approval, but I think for short-term swing trading at key levels, I give it a, you wait for my alert, patreon.com/shadingtrades. That's it for the video. I'll see you on the next one.